All right, well, good practice. I tell you, these weeks just kind of, you get to this point in the season, it's all a blur. They just kind of clip on by. You look up and you're already getting ready to roll into Thursday, and not long before you're playing again. So it just seems to go faster and faster and faster. But had a good week of practice. One of the main objectives this week was to just try to get our team healthy. Got a lot of guys kind of dinged up and banged around, so this is going to be a very physical game, and we know that. And so trying to really get these guys as healthy as we can and ready to go. And so from that standpoint, I think we've gotten a lot done, and then I think we've got a good plan in place on both sides. We've got a lot of polishing to do tomorrow because these guys present a lot of unique things on both sides of the ball, a lot of unique things. So tomorrow will be a very, very important day. And injury-wise, Travis Blanks, I believe, looks good. He practiced today, and he's going to be available to play. Where we are with him right now is, we're going to play him if we have to. The game, to be honest with you, the game's going to probably dictate if or how much he plays. But he is ready to play and practiced very well today. But we'd like to be able to hold him if we could. But I don't know that we'll be able to do that. So we're gonna start out with J-Ron and see how he does, and T. Watt and Jadar and Gohagen. Those guys have all been working. So we'll see how those guys do, and if we can hold Travis, we will. If not, he's ready to go. Boulware is going to be out this week. Is a lot better, but still just a little sore and hadn't really been able to cut it loose. But we feel like that hopefully by Monday he'll be in much better shape. And then BJ's back. It's good to have him back, especially with Ben being out. It's really good to have BJ because he gives us another big body for special teams. And then especially in a game like this too, with the type of personnel that they play with, having that big backer, he's a big Sam backer for us, and can also play Mike. So he gives us a real physical presence in there at linebacker. And then unfortunately got some bad news to announce about Patrick Stefano. You all know that we held him the last couple ball games, and he had a neck issue, and his neck actually checked out okay, but they wanted to do some further tests on Friday. He's been battling stingers. He's been getting kind of, if you've played football, pretty much it's a pretty good chance you probably had a stinger or two, but usually it'll go away and it'll all come back, and he's had some lingering stingers. And so the first thing they looked at his neck and he was okay, but then they wanted to do some type of nerve test last Friday, and they did that. And the test didn't come back good, and so basically it's a decision that he's made along with his family, and the doctor. This is the doctor's opinion for him, that he not play football anymore, and. So it's just, that's a tough blow for him because Patrick and for our team. Patrick loves football. We don't have anybody on this team that's more committed to being a great football player and more committed to doing it our way than Steph. And it's just a shame to lose a guy like that. And on his way to being a great player, I really felt like he had a chance to be a very special player for us. It's kind of like when we lost JKJ a few years ago, and it's just a shame. But we all know that that's part of the game. Unfortunately, for all of us, if you've played football, it ends. You either get hurt or you're not good enough. One of those two, somewhere along the line, no matter how good you are. And so it's just unfortunate that his career's coming to an end a little sooner than we would have all liked it to be. But he'll still be very much a part of our program, and we'll love him just as much as we would have if he could go out there and block defensive linemen for us. But he's a bright young man, very, very smart, got a great future in front of him, and this is just the best decision for him and his future health. So unfortunate to make that announcement, but that's where we are. Yeah, Jenkins is good. He practiced today. I mean, he's that guy there is he's superhuman. I'm telling you. Had surgery on Monday. He's back out there today. He got a big old club hand. He's still trying to intercept balls, but he'll have a casted thumb and down to his wrist there, but he'll have a little bit of hand where his fingers are. But he's doing good. It's his right one, and he'll be ready to go Saturday.
Stefano, is it nerve damage in his shoulders or neck?
Yeah, it's in his shoulders. Evidently, the way, obviously I'm not a doctor, but the way they explain it just kind of constantly pinches, and so then there's these lingering effects. So it's just one of those things that he needs to, to get it better. He doesn't need to be playing football. He's got to avoid those collisions. And he actually said he had some of these in high school, but they would go away. But it's just been kind of a chronic thing here really just the last few weeks. Again, it's unfortunate, but there's nothing more important than his health and his future health.
Can you count in your 11 years here how many guys you've lost to?
It's the first guy I've lost to that type of deal. Career-ending injuries, we've had a few. JKJ obviously was my first one, because heck, he had just gotten here. Jake Nicolopoulos was one. That was kind of a crazy situation. That was even before he got here. Patrick now and Justin Parker. Justin, that was one that just killed me, because he worked so hard and sat that year out trying to, but his knee just wouldn't let him do it. Just couldn't do it. Tony McNeil, is another one. Just multiple knee injuries. We've had probably a couple more, but they've all seemed like different type of things. But this is the first time I've had one like this.
Yeah, Stanley Hunter, right, too?
Yeah, Stanley Hunter. Stanley Hunter had all the problems with the seizures and all that stuff. So just a tough situation there.
You mentioned about how passionate he is, and if anybody's talked to him, they can speak to that as well. How's he handling this whole?
Well, like you would imagine any young person that loses something that he really loves. He's pretty upset about it. Patrick's got such a good head on his shoulders, and I think the biggest thing, he just wanted to just kind of take this week and just kind of get away from it. And but he'll be back, and he'll still make a great contribution to our team. I promise you, that guy he brings intensity and focus in whatever he does, and we'll get him back. He'll be a great student coach for us, and I promise you, he'll turn out to be something special away from football. He's very, very, very bright, and again, got a good foundation, got a great mom and dad, so he's got a good support system. So he'll get through it, and he understands that that's just part of it. He's already starting his diet, try to get some of that weight off of him to help him there. But it's a tough loss. It's a tough loss for him, because again, it's always hard when you have to give up something you love, and it's a really tough loss for us, because we're losing a great football player, a guy that could have helped us this year, already had helped us this year, and a guy that certainly would have been a big factor for us moving forward. But again, that's the game, and we'll keep moving.
Does he stay on the medical?
Yeah, he'll go on to what they call a medical, and so his education is taken care of. He'll continue to have his scholarship and all that stuff, but it'll allow us to count that scholarship towards somebody else, football wise.
You talked about every time you play Boston College, the next Sunday and Monday, the training room is always filled up with the most players. It's a season high. Why is that with those guys?
Well, that's just their DNA. That's their nature. Very physical, and it's their philosophy of what they do. There's 3 and 4 tight ends on the field a lot of times. There's a lot of tackle over, big heavy sets. They'll still spread you out as well, but they're just they're gonna run the power. They're gonna run the counter. They're gonna run downhill, and you got to be able to practice that all year long, and so that develops a mentality, and so they're a very physical football team, and always have been, and their defense is practicing against that every day, and that's the culture that they have.
What's Roderick McDowell's the state of Hot Rod right now, both with
The
his health?
state of Hot Rod.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a question I didn't know if I would ever get here at Clemson. The state of Hot Rod.
Both with his health and just
He's
his
good.
rhythm right now.
He's good. He's good. He battled through that ankle injury, and probably been a lot of guys that wouldn't have played last week. But Hot Rod that's just who he is. He's like, hey, I'm playing, I'm going, I'm good, and he wasn't 100%, but he's still effective, and he just brings such great leadership to our football team. He's fully committed, fully focused, and he's just about all the right things. He's having a heck of a year for us, and we got a long way to go. We've just played 5 games, but he's had a couple of games where he's he runs pretty violent. He's had a couple of games where he's gotten banged up, but again, that's the nature of that position, and that's why we got 4 guys that are trying to play for us. But he's good. He's good. We're going to need him to be good this weekend and the rest of the year.